Your old enemy is here again, the most stubborn, cunning opponent. It stands between you and your dreams every single time. It stops you from proving to the world that you are capable of more. It prevents you from living life to the fullest. That enemy is you. And this time, you're losing because of a lack of discipline. But this video isn't over yet. Your chance to change the course of this battle has arrived. Decide for yourself if you're ready to start. First, we'll address your closest enemy, and then we'll show you how to develop discipline so it becomes your greatest ally once and for all. As Sun Tzu, the great Chinese commander and master strategist, once said, "Know your enemy and know yourself, and in 100 battles, you will be victorious 100 times." We'll explore 5 key things you need to know about your internal enemy, how it secretly holds you back, and why developing discipline is essential. And of course, there's a bonus tip waiting for you at the end. We are wired to avoid the unknown. This internal programming works hard to keep us in our habitual routines. Whenever we decide to change or move forward, it triggers a deep survival instinct. If we are well-fed, warm, safe, and able to leave descendants, that's enough from a survival standpoint. The comfort zone is a safe place where risks are minimized. The desire for security binds us to familiar paths because risks might represent danger. Our minds try to protect us from anything that seems threatening. But in these moments, the inner voice takes over. This enemy, which seems to be a friend, fills us with doubts, creates the illusion of danger, and sends dark thoughts to shield us from risks. However, as Marcus Aurelius said, our minds adapt to everything that comes before us. Beyond the comfort zone, true growth and development await you. That inner voice, pretending to be a friend, often steers you away from a life full of possibilities. Learning to listen and choose is crucial because not everything your mind tells you is in your best interest. Only by overcoming this internal defense will you reach a new level in life and discover new horizons. The fear of success is also real. What if everything changes? What if, upon achieving success, you find yourself in uncharted territory where your habitual routine is no longer your compass? This fear can be as paralyzing as failure. Your mind, programmed to seek stability, fears both the changes and the challenges that success brings. As Socrates said, the greatest victory is victory over oneself. Understanding your own weaknesses is the key to overcoming internal barriers. That fear is, in reality, just a defense mechanism designed to protect you from the unknown. But it's beyond that fear where true growth begins. Learn to separate your true voice from the voice of fear, and you'll unlock the path to the life you deserve. Low self-esteem can also be a barrier. Perhaps as a child, you didn't receive the support you needed or heard words that made you doubt yourself. These experiences shaped beliefs that limit you today. But, as Epictetus said, it's not what happens to us, but how we perceive it that determines us. Building self-esteem is like training. It takes effort, but yields tangible results. Commit to not believing everything your inner critic says. Rising above these thoughts, you'll see that your true potential is far greater than any imposed limitation. Finally, our minds tend to seek instant gratification. This desire for short-term pleasures often derails us from lasting success. Lifting weights is painful. Building a business requires tough nights. It's easier to avoid action and seek quick fixes. However, it's crucial to understand that true growth and success come with effort and perseverance. Worry about the consequences for your health. If you can push this concern aside for later, the cycle of immediate pleasure intensifies, trapping you in your own habits. We often succumb to these decisions repeatedly. However, the resistance required to achieve true success demands discipline. As Seneca said, "The greatest victory is victory over your own desires." True strength emerges when you learn to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term goals. Without discipline, you will find yourself endlessly balancing between fleeting pleasure and dissatisfaction. The real skill lies in abandoning temporary comforts in favor of deep, sustainable benefits. When you set ambitious goals, your mind often attempts to tackle everything at once, visualizing the entire outcome. Yet under the weight of the task's magnitude, it may falter, preventing you from taking even the first step. The brain has a tendency to exaggerate the scale of challenges, an ancient survival mechanism that turns minor difficulties into monsters. A simple obstacle becomes a steep climb, and a small challenge feels insurmountable. This fear of being overwhelmed can thwart even the best intentions. However, discipline allows you to approach ambitious tasks differently. It teaches you to break goals into small, manageable steps, calming your mind. As long as you take the first step, every action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal, gradually dismantling the myth of insurmountable difficulty. Discipline is the ability to see every task as a series of steps, not an incomprehensible whole. As you steadily climb toward the top, you will realize that even the most ambitious goals become achievable when tackled methodically, avoiding fear of their magnitude. Rethinking the internal enemy is crucial. Your internal enemy, as mentioned before, is merely a program designed to protect you from danger. It's essential not to let this idea become extreme. As contradictory as it seems, the real enemy is often the internal barriers, those voices of doubt and thoughts that keep you stuck. Instead of fighting against yourself, start understanding yourself. Study your mind, recognize its defense mechanisms, and learn to manage them effectively. Once you identify your mental barriers, use discipline as your strongest tool to overcome limiting beliefs and move forward confidently. In this video, you'll learn the 7 key steps to achieving true discipline. The final step is an advanced method that will help you unlock your potential in an unstoppable way. Remember, goals are not just words on paper. They are the foundation of everything you build. Take the time to clarify your objectives, visualize clearly where you want to go, and determine how to apply discipline to reach that level. The true power of discipline reveals itself only when it's directed towards something meaningful. There's nothing complicated about it. Set goals in key areas of life: health, finances, personal growth, family, and relationships, for example. Strive to improve your physical fitness, plan for income growth, and work on deep, meaningful relationships. Review these goals regularly to adjust your path and add new ones as old ones are achieved. This creates a sense of constant momentum, ensuring you always have a clear direction ahead. Break goals into smaller, manageable steps. Doing so makes seemingly unattainable goals more accessible. Our minds can freeze when faced with enormous tasks, unsure of where to begin. For example, if you want to improve your physical fitness, it might feel daunting to break down a broad goal into concrete actions, like reducing body fat by 13%, gaining 5 kilos of muscle, performing weighted push-ups, or running a marathon. Dividing broad goals into smaller, clear steps makes them more realistic and achievable. Remember, every small victory leads to great success. Incremental steps boost your confidence and provide the energy needed to turn plans into reality. The key is to focus on one step at a time. Big goals become achievable when you create a routine built on daily habits. Discipline emerges from small, consistent actions that are easy to integrate into your routine. The aim is to automate as many actions as possible, turning them into natural habits, which helps reduce internal barriers. For instance, if your goal is to work out for an hour every day, simplify the process by choosing a gym near your home or workplace, so commuting isn't an obstacle. The important thing is to show up. The rest will follow the schedule. This principle also applies to financial goals. Set up an automatic monthly transfer to a savings account before any expenses. This active control lets you accumulate funds effortlessly, turning discipline into a matter of habit. As Roman philosopher Seneca said, small victories lead to great achievements. Act with simplicity and automation, The simpler your actions, the less room there is for doubt. Eliminate distractions or temptations that fuel self-sabotaging thoughts. Decisively remove habits or factors that steer you away from your goals without hesitation. Your mind will try to justify keeping these weaknesses, whether it's alcohol, sugar, social media, or gambling, but holding on to them creates barriers to success. As Epictetus once said, "Happiness is freedom from pain and fear." Remove anything that doesn't contribute to your progress, bringing lightness and control to your life. Prioritize self-care. To maintain purpose and discipline, staying healthy is essential. Ensure your body and mind receive sunlight, water, proper nutrition, fresh air, and quality sleep. Without balance, you'll become vulnerable to stress, which will compromise your ability to move forward. As Socrates said, caring for. The body is the key to caring for the soul. Adopt the strategy of acting in the shadows. Avoid sharing your plans and achievements at every step. Less exposure reduces internal doubts and external pressures. Focus on real actions and stay committed. Discipline requires overcoming pain and discomfort, facing the internal struggles that come with growth. Train your mind to see pain as a sign of progress rather than an obstacle. Appreciate every effort, not just the final results. As Marcus Aurelius said, accept what is destined, and you will gain strength. Accepting pain destroys the power of the internal enemy, making your discipline unshakable and preparing you for any challenge along the way.